My name is Brad. I was introduced to A Power in Love, Little Rock, Arkansas, about 4 months ago. A friend that I was with stated, "You want to go to see Todd White with me?" And I didn't know who he was, and I said yes. And so I watched a video on Todd White. It was a testimonial he did, 2015 testimonial. I Googled it, and I kind of just dropped everything and watched it at the moment there, and was completely moved. And so I went to see Todd White. Went to a Power Love conference in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was not doing well. I was just tired, exhausted, and that Saturday morning when we woke up, I was having trouble focusing on the messages. And when we woke up that Saturday morning, that was when they did the fire tunnel that night. The person I was with said, I don't know if we should go tonight because we're just so tired. And a voice out loud said, "This is what you came for." And it was very clear to me, and it felt like it was God speaking to me. And so that night at the fire tunnel, I'd been struggling a lot with some personal stuff and just not having a good time in life. And I've been working really hard to try to surrender and renounce all my wrongs and get closer to Jesus and live a more godly life. And I was trying hard. And so that night, the person I was with right before the fire tunnel, and I didn't even know what a fire tunnel was. I was looking for a ring of fire or something in the room. I thought there was going to be fire. I had no idea what it was. Nor did I have any idea what speaking in tongues was. I heard one person do it once, and so we got in line, and I let her go ahead of me. I was in line, and I just kept on saying, "God, do whatever you want with me." And before I knew it, I had fallen, and someone caught me, and they dragged me up, and I was about 15 feet away, and I saw Todd White, and I opened up my eyes, I took a step forward, and I fell again, and I woke up again, and it was this close to Todd, and he grabbed me, and I just was lights out, and they dragged me to the back, and they laid me on the floor, and I just remember, I felt like I was there for 15, 20 minutes. I was there for an hour and a half. The janitors ended up taking me out. And I went back to the apartment, or went back to the house we were staying at. And the person I was with, I go, "Hey, just come here for a second." And she goes, "Okay." And she laid down and she said, "All darkness must leave him now." She said my body kind of bounced off the floor. I rolled over and I started laughing for like a minute out, like so much breath coming out of me. It was more breath than I should be able to hold. But nothing was funny, but I was laughing extremely hard. And I kept thinking, this must be when I've heard people have the Holy Ghost get a hold of them. And I reached back open, and this guy just kind of lit up, and I was just started bursting out in tongues. And I kept on grabbing my mouth because it was so new to me and I hadn't heard of it before. So I went in tongues for about an hour and a half. And then the next morning I went in tongues for 30 hours and I couldn't control it in grocery stores and everything. I was out praying for people on the streets. And I own a business and I wanted to quit my business. And luckily I have a mentor who said, "No, do not quit your business." But the tongues couldn't stop. I would show guys what to do, and then I would go off on my own to gas station, pick up hitchhikers, stop and talk to homeless people. And I was just really on fire to just spread the word and the message, and just wanted to let everyone know how much Jesus loved them and how real God is. And God told me continue to go to the Power and Love conferences until I figured even more out. Anyway, this is the guy who works with me, and I continued to try to tell him my stories and why I was always very interested in it. And, I just felt like he definitely wanted to build his relationship with God because he was going through some struggles as well. So Wyatt invited Wyatt to this conference that we're at now, and he said yes. And God helped him out a lot because he was backed into with a skid loader, and for some reason the skid loader didn't knock him down, it pushed him up and into a tree. but it doesn't make any sense because he should have gotten ran over and gone flat because he was on the ground and his back was towards the skid loader. So that's my story. And power and love conferences are great. They're amazing. They're so powerful. And when you leave, you're different. You're better. So better in every single way that God would want you to be better. You're better in that way. For me. So I'm speaking for me, and I'm assuming it goes. That's a general message across the board, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I agree with you. So initially when the accident happened, he pulled forward and got out of the skid loader and came back, and then he just started praying over me. And I had no clue what he was saying because I never have heard tongues before in my life. And it instantly just took all my pain away. I was calm and collected. And right then and there, he apologized and I forgave him instantly because I knew it wasn't his fault. And so because of that, that made me believe that there was something more than what I thought there was. And then coming here to this conference and the people here, I surrendered to God and accepted Him in my life for the first time, and it just, I feel a whole different me on the inside, and I love it. I love it so much. And before the accident, I ended up wrecking one of his work trucks twice in one day, and with that being said, I totaled it on the second accident and walked away with no scratches, no injuries, and it saved me because I was in a pretty rough spot and I could always confide in Brad, and he's always been there to listen and not just let it go in one ear and out the other, but actually listen to what I had to say. And I've never really had anyone like that before. And so here we are today. Miracles have been shown through me, through Brad, with God, and it's amazing, and I would never change it for the world. And I'm excited to see what's next because this is only the beginning.